my god, look, I'm such a mess. Hold up. I look like a mess. Oh my god. I have the worst kink, you guys. I've had it since yesterday and I thought it would go away. Unfortunately, it has not went away. So if this doesn't work, if this doesn't work, then I'm gonna have to take, an Epsom bath because usually the Epsom salt works the best. So hoping this kink will go away and it'll work itself out. It sucks. It sucks. It really does. It sucks having a kink. I can't, like, it sucks as I can't turn my head to the left. Oh god, coffee. I am so not awake yet. But this is why you don't go to bed with makeup on your face. Especially when you have good palettes like I have. That Harley Quinn palette is very pigmented that you don't need any primer eyeshadow whatsoever. Um, because it's so pigmented, you know. I did 2 colors on my face yesterday. And I can't get it off. I couldn't get it off. And that's why you get breakouts. A lot of people don't realize when you don't take your makeup off right away and you leave it on for the night, you're gonna wake up with exposed pores, okay? Makeup makes your pores, the makeup sits in your pores, and even the ones that are opened, that's how you get pimples, acne real bad. That's, you know, one of the main reasons why you need to have a clean face. I'm gonna turn my AC off. It's getting a little chilly in here. A little chilly in here for me. Let's go on this side. Say good morning everybody. Thank you for coming in, dropping in, saying hi. Let me make sure this is up and running. First thing I want to talk about is, okay, so going through high school, a lot of people in high school had hard times, okay? A lot of people have hard times. There's a lot of kids that struggled, okay? Especially if they're good in one class and they're doing shitty in the next class. However, when you get a bad grade from school, okay, it's like, it sucks when you get a bad grade, right? Anybody can say that. Anybody who gets a bad grade knows it sucks, right? It sucks getting a bad grade. It really, really does. So, it's not fun. Let me go to my channel real quick. I just realized when I changed my name, I guess the old links that I have isn't working. So, I'm just waiting for this to load up so I can put my links in for you guys. Because I don't think I have any mods here right now. So that is my Cash App if anybody would like to bless me. I am still trying to save for a laptop, so just to let everybody know, I'm still in the middle of saving. But this is my active link for you guys to be able to get here. We're not on StreamYards. Um, okay, so that worked. Alright, what's the other link here? My Amazon wish list is still there. And let's see here. My Instagram. And I guess I can delete these other ones in here. Delete bonfires. Delete We the People. I'm not going over there no more, so delete that one. Delete Rebels. I'm just in here, you guys, deleting for mod stuff. You know, I was a mod for a couple of channels, and I was a pretty damn good mod for them too as well. I made sure that they knew that people were saying awful things about them. I always showed up and put their links in. Never really put mine in there. And it sucks because I really trusted these people and I really loved these people, and then next thing you know, I go to their chat and my wrench is gone, and I'm like, okay, so let me message them privately and ask if it's just a glitch. You know, YouTube likes to do glitches, and I was told that it was a YouTube glitch. However, the last couple times that I went back, it still wasn't fixed, and you know, like, my wrench got taken, so these other people could have a wrench that used to be there and then leave and come back and they get there. Yeah. So I just decided I'm not gonna support people who aren't gonna have the decency to tell me. Okay? You just don't go. The proper way is to give a person a reason why, instead of giving all these wrenches to all these people that didn't come by before, and now they're back, and you take the good people mods away. So if you get a rogue mod, you know, guess that's on you, not on me. I was crushed by that. I was hurt for a couple of weeks. I was hurt by it, but I'm not gonna let it get to me. I know I was always, always there, supported ones. It sucks when you're a damn good mod and you know, remember to keep all these links and save them, and you know, once your clipboard gets full, you have to go through and delete some of the stuff. So that was one of my rants for this morning. Anywho's, getting bad grades in school. Okay, now mind you, I had a hard time going through school. I think everybody has a legit hard time going through school, you know? But to kill for a bad grade, would you guys kill for a bad grade? Would you guys kill your teacher over a bad grade? I need to know this. I need to know, one's in the chat, if you ever had a bad grade, and two, throw a two down if you've ever got that grade changed to make it a better grade. And three, the last opportunity is to harm your teacher. Okay? I hope to see some ones and twos in the chat. Hi, Crystal. Gina sent me. Hi. Well, thank you, Miss Gina. My diamond girl. My diamond girl. Hi, Maria. Hi, y'all. So, yeah, that's one of the cases we're going to go over. Is two teenagers, 16. Now, they were juvenile when they did this crime. But they're being tried as an adult. Both teens were tried as an adult. I'm going to get into the case here in a minute. But to kill your Spanish. Now, see, I never did Spanish class. Never did Spanish. Plus, I was on IEP growing up, so I didn't have, God, I got this awful kink in my neck. It won't go away. Oh, my God. My husband tried to rub it out for me yesterday. And he felt a knot there. He's like, oh, yeah, baby, you got a knot in the back of there. He's like, that needs to come out. And I'm like, massage my back. I can't reach it. I can't reach where the pain is coming from. And it sucks. Like, ugh. I can't move to the left. To the left. To the left. No, when I read this case, you guys, I could not believe. Over a Spanish bad grade, these two teens literally stalked this woman. Hi, I hope you're doing well. Aw, thank you, Miss Maria G. I hope you're doing well too, babes. I've been watching some of your stuff, so, girl, there's so much drama. So much drama in this world, It's like some people just can't learn to get along. But what got me crazy is when I was reading this story that this Spanish teacher would go to this community park and walk the trails. Now, these two teens stalked her for 2 weeks. They stalked her for 2 weeks, which means they were learning where she went, who she was with, and when she went to the park, she would normally go by herself, okay, and walk the trails. By herself, okay? And she would do this often. Hi, y'all. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Maria, babies. This is my first day back. I've been gone for a while because the internet is a scary place, y'all. There's some scary shit on here, okay? People fighting, people going after each other, people doxing, people bullying, transgendering going on. Just a lot. And it's like, I gotta take a shower. I'm gonna try some Epsom salt in a little while. If this kink doesn't go away, I'm definitely gonna have to get me a nice. I got some they call it Epsom salt. You put it in the bathtub and then it relaxes your muscles, your back, your feet. If your feet hurt, that's a great idea to do it. It's hell, Truthseeker. I know, Maria. It's been hell on here. Hi, yay, you finally found me. Yeah, it has been hell on these streets. Like, can't we just all get along? Like, for crimini's sake. And it's just, oh my God, this is called Dragonberry. I don't have the wrap. But if you're smokers like me, I love zigzags. Zigzags are your classic. They have a new flavor called Dragonberry. OMG. I know, Maria, it's getting so worse. Look at this eyeshadow. This shit is so pigmented. And it's the new Harley Quinn palette. This is the palette that I used yesterday. And this palette, I tell you guys, is extremely pigmented. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Diamond. Maria. Oh my God. Thank you, girls, for coming and supporting me. That means a lot to me. That does mean a lot to me to have people here. So, when I grew up in school, I had a hard time in school, okay? Like, kindergarten through, I would say, maybe junior high, okay, was the best time of my years. And then as soon as I got to high school, man, did I get... Well, junior high, I did have some teachers that went and got in trouble for abusing students. I had a tutor that actually went to Washington, D.C., wrote letters to the Board of Education out there, okay? She went higher up because in the city of Port Clinton, they couldn't get nowhere with the Board of Education out there. So she had went higher up, and the teachers that tormented me, there was another student who had this tutor. We were able to get free tutors, okay? And this tutor knew what I was going through. She knew that I was being bullied by these teachers. Anytime that I would get the answer wrong, I would have to get a hole punch card. And they said it was behavior problems. I just talked to hear myself talk. Like, this teacher, her name was Mrs. Witt. Now, Mrs. Witt loved having my brother as a student, right? But totally hated me. She's the one that had the balls to tell me that my mama was spelling my name wrong. Do you know what my mama did? I ain't never seen my mama ever do this shit. She goes, "What are you writing?" I said, "I'm doing my homework, Mom." "What's your homework tonight?" "Writing my name 150 times the way that she wants it spelled." My mom looked at me and said, "What?" "Let me see what you're doing." So my mom rips the paper out of my hand. She sees what the teacher had me spelling. And my mom's like, "This is not how you spell your name." And I'm like, she had a problem with my middle name and my first name. I think she kept wanting me to spell it Line. And that's not how you spell my name. It's not Line. It is Jacqueulyn. My middle name is Alexandria. Alexandria. Alexan. Shit. Alexandrea. She wanted me to spell it Alexandrea. Something like that. She wanted me to spell Alexandria totally wrong. And I'm like, that's not how you spell my name. That is not how my mom had my name spelled. So my mom goes and gets my birth certificate, right? Then she rips up the homework assignment, right? And she says, "I'm ripping this up and I'm writing your teacher a nasty little letter." My mom wrote that teacher a nasty little letter, that's for sure. God, I couldn't believe that. This teacher tormented me so bad. All of you, aw, I'm so glad you do. Crystal, what brand is that palette? Actually, that's a Walmart palette. Can you believe it? Hold on, guys. Nope, he's not out there. I thought I heard Scoob out there. This is from the Walmart Revolution. But look, let me open this because this doesn't describe colors. Okay, so here is the palette. I love this. You can still get this online. But let me tell you what, you guys. It is very pigmented. I used that pink and that pink. And it's still on there. It's still on my eyes. I love this palette. So this is a good palette to get, especially because it's so pigmented. Like, coming from Walmart, you would have never thought this came from Walmart. This came from Walmart, y'all. And then, I take pride in my makeup, so we'll get into this case in just a minute. Have you girls ever heard of the ice cream subscription box? So I got these palettes because I signed up for the membership, and I only paid $5 for these palettes because I was a member. But I'm more of bright color tones. I'm not good with naturals, too much with naturals. But as you can see, both of these palettes are awesome. Okay, my makeup is Revolution. Yeah, but I never heard of that palette before. And when Walmart had it, I was like, oh my god, it's Harley Quinn. I have to get it. And then, I also have their Halloween Revolution Mascara and Duo. This is Poison Ivy's. So with Poison Ivy, you got the Duo Mascara. So you got green and red. So you got Ivy red, Ivy green. Isn't that cool? I love that. I love makeup. But yeah, you guys check out that ice cream. It's called Ice Cream Subscription Box. And it's like you can get a prescription of 2 items for $12.50 or $20 for all different kinds of Crystal. I'm addicted to makeup. I love makeup too. I love my makeup. That I do love. And then this one also came with it. This one came with a subscription box. And you can see which ones I obviously use most, but I haven't really dabbled into the greens yet because this is so very pigmented. I used to wear makeup and then got into controlling marriage and slowly stopped literally everything. I know it sucks when that happens, like, because I used to do the same thing. Like, I would wear makeup for my husband all the time, and he prefers me natural, and I'm like, well, I don't want to be natural. Also, if you ever get out, there's 2 palettes that I really love in here. Well, all these palettes are my favorite. All of these palettes are my favorite. Okay. However, though, this is a Morphe palette, and so I'm poor, and I never really got to have Morphe shit. Morphe palettes are very expensive sometimes. I got this palette, and it's a Morphe palette, legit Morphe, okay? It's the Sweet Oasis 35S, and you guys, you can barely see how much, like, look how much I've dabbled into what colors. So I've snuck into this one a little bit up there. Most of the pinks, couple of the, silvers and the nude colors. This lasts forever, you guys. Like, I love this palette. And it's the only Morphe palette that I own. And then there's an eyeshadow palette I highly recommend. The palettes are called You Can Be, okay? There's this one. I love Morphe. I know, I love the Batman palette. It's my favorite one. It looks very pretty though. Thank you, Miss Maria, even though I did it last night and I can't get it off. I can't get it off. I'm going to have to clean my face with some of my good stuff. This is the You Can Be palette. This is the Spotlight palette. This palette has a lot of reds, purples, some colors that I haven't used yet. I'm scared to get into those colors, but this one is my favorite now. This one, you can get a lot out of this palette. This palette I ordered on Amazon, okay, and it came with makeup brushes, okay? And it came with, you can get a whole set of these makeup brushes on Amazon. Amazon has a lot of good shit right now. But this one's kind of old. And so this is right up my alley. Okay, this is a book of palettes, okay? So as you can see, I have dabbled a lot in the warm-up one. What's that one? Okay, that's warming up. And then this one is called Light Up. So you can obviously see how much eyeshadow that I went through that one. And then that one. So this is a really cool palette. Just closes like that. You Can Be is very, very good. I highly recommend. They have a couple different versions of this guy, but I've never had pigmented eyeshadow so good as this guy and that Revolution one. I don't care for these guys. I really don't care for too much for this. You have to kind of, with the glitters, you got to be very careful when you pack on the glitter. Especially this guy right here. Like, you really have to be careful when you put that in your eye. Because if that gets in your eye, that shit's going to hurt, guys. Okay? I'm not kidding you. The bigger glitter that you go, like some of the, like, and I've heard that from drag queens told me that. Like, they're like, girl, you gotta be careful when you're putting on. My best friend is gay. I have my best friend. I've never been to a club like Brett's before. There used to be a club called Brett's, and it was the awesomest times in the world. Man, let me tell you. No fights break out. It's just dancing, loving, drinking. I love that. Yes, Crystal, she's awesome. Oh, thank you, girls. Yeah, so I love my makeup. I do love my makeup, and I love going to all those kind of shows. And my best friend, he would drag me out into these foam parties. I had never been to a foam party, but man, I had one time I was watching one of the drag queens on the floor. It was one of my favorite ones. I loved watching. I think her name was Letitia. Was talk show. Something with an L. She was fabulous. She goes all over the world though. And she had noticed my glitter one night, and she's like, she pulled me to the side and she was like, girl, that eyeshadow is so beautiful, but she's like, you gotta be careful. You get that stuff in your eye, and she's like, it'll cut your eye, and it was so funny. They were hilarious. I love it. Love it. It's funny. But yeah, so those are my eyeshadow palettes. I can't get it off. But that Revolution one is really good. I like the Revolution one. And I usually buy Marcella water, or I use like the pads. Have you guys seen these? Look at this. I don't know if you guys seen these things, but Neutrogena has these pimple things, and they're like little round. Man, does that shit work. Like, I had a pimple here, and like it's definitely going away now. But I paid $8, okay, for this fucking box. And you only get 24 patches, but it removes impurities and helps pimple look smaller and flatter after one use. Man, did that shit work. I love those. But they're $8 and they're expensive. And then, you know, of course, your nose strips. I got the cheap ones, so they don't really work that well. I don't like the cheap ones. Oh no! I hate when that happens. Sometimes my internet will do that too. So I guess we'll get into the case. We'll get right into this case. So, there's two boys, guys. They were 16 years old when they committed the crime, okay? So this is the one with the bad grade. So apparently, the one kid recruited the other kid, okay? This happens, where am I on? Shit, I'm on the wrong one. Hold on, I'm on the wrong case. How did that happen? Two teen boys were minors. Okay. So these two teen boys were minors at the time. There's Jeremy Goddale and Ward Miller. Okay. There's Ward Miller and Jeremy Goodale. Which they ended up. One of the boys, I do believe it was Ward Miller, who ended up getting the bad grade in Spanish class. Now, I never took Spanish, so I don't know how. Is Spanish a rough class? Is Spanish a hard class? I never took Spanish, so I don't know. But my elective classes, I was on IEP, so I didn't have to take those. I was exempt from a lot of those tests. I didn't have to take those tests, and I failed them anyways. I was exempt from them. I was on IEP. My problem is comprehending it. I have to, in order for me to register upstairs, I have to say it out loud. Like when I'm at work and somebody comes in and says 5 on 5, that totally fucks me up. Like I have to stand there and I'm like, 5 on 5? Is that what you said? And they all look at me like I'm stupid and shit, but I'm just like, I have to repeat it and I have to say it out loud because if I don't, it doesn't go upstairs. So that's just the always way I've been. That's how I was raised. School was hard. I was on IEP, so I was exempt from a lot of those hard tests, which I'm happy about. But I've never had to do a Spanish class, so I don't know how hard Spanish is. But Ward Miller, me too. Okay, so I don't feel it's not just me. Yay! Thank you for being here, Gina. I appreciate you, babes. So Ward Miller got a bad grade, which means they ended up they murdered their Spanish teacher. Now she was 60-something years old, so she was about to retire in a few years. From what the board director guy said, she was probably going to retire. She was a teacher through that school for many years. It's a small, tight community. So because of a bad grade, these boys followed her. They stalked her for 2 weeks. And she would go every day. Well, it said often that she would go to this community park, and I think it was called Fairfield something community. Fairfield, Iowa. So it says they followed the teacher into the park in 2021. She would walk the park occasionally by herself. This was the community of Fairfield, Iowa. Miller recruited Jeremy Goodale. They were 16 years old in 2021. They savagely beat to death with a baseball bat. Mind you, the baseball bat, this is trigger warning, very graphic what I'm about to tell you all. They beat her with a metal baseball bat. Now, I don't know if they still have do they still have the metal baseball bats? Thank you, Maria. ADHD can make you do that too. I've just been prescribed. See, I wonder if I have ADHD. And like I told you, Maria, they tried to put my mom on Adderall. Said that she has ADHD. Now, mind you, my mom is 71 years old. She doesn't have ADHD, though. She said, I've never had nothing wrong like that. And I asked my mom not to go back to that the nerve radiologist or something. The nerve people were trying to tell my mom that she had ADHD. And I told my mom, I said, no, Mom, you do not have that. You do not have ADHD. You have fibromyalgia. There's days that her Vicodins don't even touch her pain. There's days that her poor little Vicodins don't help her at all. There's times that I have to send her ibuprofen. That usually helps. Um, but I'm just like, I don't know what to do about it. I'm trying to get my mom into some different testing but so a metal baseball bat, which I think they still have the metal baseball bats, but I think they're on baseball teams. Now, mind you, he struck her. Jeremy. Sorry, bill collector. So, Jeremy's the one that hit her first. And then Miller Ward had finished it. Mental bat. These duo killers pled guilty. Now, they stalked her for weeks. They knew she went to this park to walk the trails. They hit her in the back of the skull. Each one of them struck her. The Spanish teacher, they bragged about it on social media. They had Snapchats. The detective said they were very prepared for this to happen. Like I said, they used a lot of Snapchats. They bragged about murdering his teacher, about hiding her body. Her husband, from the Spanish teacher, her husband reported her missing. And then a day later, they had found her in the park. My best friend has fibromyalgia, and he gets real bad pain. Yeah, does it make him to where they can't walk, Maria? Because there's days that my mom can't even get out of the bed, Maria. It's that bad. Like, I want to cry for her because she gets so mad at herself because she can't do shit. And I'm like, Mom, you're old. It's just, you just have to face it. You know, you're not some spring chicken, you know? I hate to see my mom suffer. And, I mean, there's days that she can't move, and she carries she pushes one of those real heavy duty walkers, and I think maybe if she had I want to say maybe a smaller one, she'd be okay, but this big one, she has to lug it outside. She can't lift it herself. Like, my nephew takes, like, if my mom leaves the house, either my nephew or my best friend will sometimes help her. But my nephew helps out my mom the most, which is my niece's boyfriend, who stays with my mom. He doesn't have anybody. His family isn't that great of a family, but yeah, so I really do think my mom has fibromyalgia. Yes, there's days that he has to stay in bed all day. Okay. So my theory could be right. I honestly really think my mom could have fibromyalgia, and she went to that nerve doctor, and they want to put her on ADHD medicine. And I'm like, Mom, you don't have ADHD. Maybe I do, because there's times where I'll get on a subject or a project and I can't finish it. I hate that. So, these boys, her husband had to report her missing. The boys posted a bunch of stuff on social media. Both of these teens struck her at the park. She walked often after school. She would go there. Her name is, it looks like it says Garber, Graber, but when they pronounced her last name, that G is silent and it's Raber. Naomi Raber. Okay, guys, that is a Spanish teacher who lost her life because she gave a student a bad grade. I'm going to show you guys this clip here in a minute. And then they moved her body. So after they struck her in the trail, because she was walking down a trail, and so they struck her in the back of her head, she falls. Then they move her body off the trail. Her husband had reported her missing. Okay. I do believe it was 2 days or 1 day after. Well, they found a smoking gun. They found the murder weapon in Miller's bedroom behind a chair. So, the bat was pretty beat up too. You could definitely tell. The bat was wiped off. It didn't have any, blood or anything on it. But it was hidden behind a chair. Let me pull this up. Um, Now, the worst part of it is, you're never going to believe this, you guys. One got 35 years with a possible parole. The other one got 25 years because he cooperated. He turned against both teens turned on each other. But Miller is the one that kept coming up with different stories. He lied to the police numerous times. He flipped it on him, on Jeremy. Jeremy's dad testified against. Jeremy's dad got up and made a statement. He was sobbing. Just the father was sobbing. Miller, they both pleaded guilty. And this happened November 2nd of 2021. And this case just finished. Now, the other kid is still going to court. He just pled guilty. Now, the court was happening 5 hours away from where Miss Raber and her husband must have lived. However, you guys, I'm going to show you the clip before I tell you this. The husband is, it's so sad, you guys. I mean, it does have a kind of a happy ending because they're both together now in heaven. The husband died 5 days before these kids' sentencing was happening. Now, I do know Jeremy's is done with. I think it's Miller's case that's not completely. And I do believe it was Jeremy that I think is getting the 35. Because one of the blows, one of the hits in the head didn't just, it was the second hit that had. Thank you, Miss Maria. Thank you for being here. Gina. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Thank you, sweethearts, for being here. Everybody that's here right now, thank you. This is a little rough case because, I've gotten bad grades in school. Like I've told you guys, I've been, treated really poorly. I was on a behavior card thing. They said that I had a behavior problem. I had to see the counselor. Anytime I got a question wrong, they would hole punch my card. It was bad. It was not, wasn't fun going through all that in school. But I do want to. How did I get on Bunny Keys? What the fuck? Oh boy. Look at all this drama on here. Look at this drama on here. This lady, that lady right there, she is not very nice. You know what word she said in her chat room? Okay. I went there once to scope things out. I walked in that chat room and all I heard was retarded, fuck, all these nasty words. And I said to her, I wrote in the chat and I said, I can't stay and watch you because these words you're using is extremely words that are not used today. Retarded is not a word that is supposed to be used. That word can hurt people. That word isn't even used hardly anymore. My mother and my father. My mother works for the state of Ohio. My brother is a substitute school teacher for kids who have autism. He works for the he works for the city and stuff. He's a substitute school teacher. His son is autistic with Asperger's. My sister-in-law, which is my brother's wife, works for a place called Ottawa County Board of Disabilities. They took that retarded word out. It used to be called MRDD. That's not used anymore. Mentally, our word is no longer should be used in people's chats. From here on out. Anyways, I went there one night. I'm getting mad because I went there one night to see what this lady was about. Because I heard everybody talking about this lady. I go there, and she's using all these words like, then I asked her why she thinks it's okay to use those words. And she pretty much just snapped and basically told me to get the fuck out of there if I didn't like those words. So I was like, okay. I never went back, but it's just like, why are people so mean for? Why use that word? And I was trying to explain to her when I wrote in the comment, like, hey, you know, growing up in this field, like my mom and my brother, my sis, you know, like everybody that I know is either in that Ghost UK comes across the pond. Ooh, okay. Anywho, I grew up in that, so I know that word is not a word that people should use, and some people they don't care, and it's just like, you know, that can hurt people, especially the ones who are mentally challenged or disabled. You know, it's not fun. It's not nice, nor is it you know, shouldn't be used. Nobody should use that word. Anywho, I'm going to pull up this clip for you guys. And I want you guys to hear a little bit of this.
Feed more
Stupid
families
ad.
with Meyer Brand and Simply Give. Thanksgiving week when you...
I want you guys to see these boys. Oh, man.
Can you see that? Yes. All right. What does this exhibit generally show us? Okay, so the orange or red little marker that says Chicago Park, that's kind of the center of the park. The line around it, that's the actual walking path. And then when you go to the upward center of the screen where it says body location, that is where she was found. That's right by a railroad bridge going over a street. I know the topography of this map does not really come through on the satellite photo that we have here, but how would you generally describe that area where
it's sad, you guys.
was ultimately found?
Alright, let me show you.
When you see the arrow that says access, previously found.
Hold on, guys. I'm trying to.
Had a kind of a.
This is the teacher. She was a beautiful. Look, she was such a beautiful teacher. This is Naomi Raber. It says her name is spelled with a G, but I don't think it's Garber. I think it's Raber. That's how they pronounced it in here. Here is, let's see.
Arrow that says access.
I had a better clip yesterday. Let me see if I can find it. Hold
in
on.
relation to the van and the location.
Oh, look at the
that we
van.
just looked at here on the map and a little bit closer here in 105 and 106.
This one shows all the evidence in it, guys. This one that I found is showing every piece of evidence that there was.
Located that would have helped
Just look here.
determine who was involved and where the van would have, how it would have been used. Yeah, there was lots of video involving
Look at this guy, Willard. This is Willard.
Sentenced to life with the possibility of parole after 35 years. That's 17-year-old Willard Miller being sentenced to life in prison for the murder
Thank
of
you,
his
long
Spanish
crime.
teacher, Noema Graber, who he killed because of a bad grade. We highlight the victim impact statements and talk to the prosecutor.
There's
Put
prosecutor.
him behind bars.
Introducing the
Oh,
next
God.
generation of pepper spray. Neat Pop, a new maximum
If you guys do need pepper spray, I suggest looking into this Palm one. It's supposed to be really, really good. I'm going to hit the like button on this, and then we're going to play this.
Even more so. A high school Spanish teacher,
I want you guys to listen to this.
66-year-old Noema Graber, was likely nearing retirement when
See?
Miller and his friend beat her to death over a bad grade. Miller was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after he serves 35 years. That doesn't mean he'll be released at that time. He'll simply be given a chance to appear in front of the parole board to see if he's fit to re-enter society.
He ain't going
Noema
to be.
Graber was a Spanish teacher at Fairfield High School in Fairfield, Iowa. Willard Miller was one of her students. After Miller received a bad grade from Graber, he and his friend Jeremy Goodale plotted to kill her. According to the state's account of events, Noema Graber drove to a park in Fairfield after school to go on a walk. It was something she did often.
Yep.
On November 2nd, 2021, Miller and Goodale
Let me make
sneaked
sure I
up
got
on
my
Graber
notes
and
matched
beat her
up,
to
you
death
guys.
with a baseball bat. Graber's body was found the next day under a tarp, a wheelbarrow, and a railroad tie, just hours after she was reported missing. Less than a day after her body was found, Miller and Goodale were arrested. Miller and Goodale were only minors at the time, but were charged as adults. Both have pleaded guilty to the crime. At Miller's sentencing hearing, Iowa Department of Criminal Investigation agent Trent Valletta walked the court through his investigation. Listen as he explains where he found the murder weapon.
Listen.
During the search of Miller's residence, was any item found that would be consistent with an item that could cause blunt force injury? Yes, there was a baseball bat located in the Miller residence. And this is at State's Exhibit 104, is that correct? That is correct. Where was this exactly in the Miller residence? It was in Miller's room, behind a chair.
Behind a chair, you guys. Like, he didn't try to hide it. He didn't try to
American on food stamps or Medicaid?
disclose.
If so, you are now eligible.
It's crazy.
So this obviously phone was taken in the chair with it, is that right? So, just to fast forward a bit, Jeremy Goodale was interviewed in this case, is that right? That's correct. In his interview, that would be consistent with the description of this bat as being used to cause the death of William Graber. Yes, he described the bat that was used as having like flames or something on that, as you can see in the photo that would coincide with what we're looking at in the photo. This bat would have been submitted to the DCI crime laboratory for DNA analysis, is that right? That's correct. Did anything come back positive that would have identified it as being directly associated with the death of William Graber? No, I think it was speculated that it was cleaned pretty well.
Oh, so he
Murder
cleaned
weapon was
it.
found in Miller's room, so that's as close to a smoking gun as you can get. There was a lot of other evidence.
let me go
of
back
guilt,
so you
though,
guys can see that.
pleading guilty was likely the best bet for the teenagers. Miller and Goodale turned on each other after being arrested.
Exactly in the Miller residence. It was in Miller's room behind the chair. So this obviously photo was taken in the chair with it, is that right?
You guys see the bat?
So, just to fast forward a bit, Jeremy Goodale was interviewed in this case, is that right?
Shout out to Law and Crime.
Consistent with the description of this bat as being
I do like using Law and Crime
caused the death
a lot for my articles and stuff, you guys.
like flames or something on that, as you can see in the photo that would coincide with what we're looking at in the photo.
So he cleaned it really well. Okay. He
Did anything come back positive that would have identified it as being directly associated with the death of William Graber? No, I think it was speculated that it was cleaned pretty well.
The murder weapon was found in Miller's room, so that's as close to a smoking gun as you can get. There was a lot of other evidence of guilt, though, so pleading guilty was likely the best bet for the teenagers. Miller and Goodale
here they
turned
are.
on each other
They're
after
turned on
being
each other.
arrested, claiming that the other did it and they were only an accomplice and didn't actually participate in beating her. But back in April, Jeremy Goodale pleaded guilty to the murder and explained what exactly happened.
On November 2nd of 2021, I met Willard Miller at Chautauqua Park. I understood that he had the intent to kill Mrs. Graber.
Listen to him. This sick fucker. This makes me so mad, you guys.
Brought a bat, among other supplies, to go through with the murder. And after he had struck Nohema Graber, we then moved her off of the trail, where I then struck her, and she died as a result.
Miller changed his story multiple times. Agent Ryan Kelly conducted the interview. Here's him testifying about it.
How do you further the story when you say that James Well, there were certainly multiple versions, but within some of the later versions that he provided, he would add details as I would break down those versions.
So I'm pretty sure this is the detective or the prosecutor that's speaking.
Specifically how those actually
I love my pens. Shout out to Disco Babes and Designs. Disco Babes Designs. She's on YouTube. I'll share her. I'll find her. I have her posted on my YouTube channel. This lady makes these by hand. And I have another one left, which is this one. She was supposed to make me a Harley Quinn, but she couldn't find the piece. So I got and it came with
Agent
ink.
Kedley also went on to say that Willard Miller, during the interview, was, quote, remarkably relaxed. After the state presented its witnesses and evidence, Judge Showers then asked Miller if he would like to address the court. Miller then spoke to the court and Graber's family.
Listen to this guy. I can't believe this.
I would like to apologize for my actions, first and foremost, to the family. I'm sincerely sorry for the distress that I
Oh
caused,
my
the
God.
devastation of my brother's family. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry to hear about all of your. I would also like to apologize to the community.
See, I got extra ink cards.
That my actions have had. Everyone that has affected. I would like to apologize to the Breakers Church. I know that she was buried kind of now, that she was buried next to me over there. And we want to get there.
I can't believe this guy.
I apologize for what I did. I'd like to apologize to my family. Thank you guys so much. And I'm really sorry for what I've done. I think back out there soon, but yeah, I think I was lost on. I'd also like to apologize to the Goodale family. I'm sorry for the position that Jeremy's in. That's my efforts as possible. Sorry.
He apologized to Jeremy's family for bringing him into this mess.
And I accept responsibility for my carelessness. For my
Carelessness.
And also, I'd like to apologize to the police department and investigators there for misinformation I provided back in 2021.
After Miller apologized, it was time for the victim impact statements.
Oh my God,
Noema's
listen.
brother-in-law, Tom Graber, spoke about how Noema met with Willard Miller and his mother about improving his Spanish grade before the murder.
Willard J. Miller and his mother met with Noema at the high school. And their Miller promised Noema, their sought Nueva's help and accomplished, seeking his desire to study abroad in a Spanish-speaking country as his older sister had. Nueva agreed to provide further help he had previously spurned.
This is sad.
Miller promised to exert extra effort and really try hard for his plans. His mother described the meeting as beautiful, full of sweetness, positivity, and promise. All the while, Lord Shane Miller knew his promise was false. Knew he didn't intend to try to hurt her. Instead, he intended to murder her that very afternoon. And that
So
is exactly
sad.
what he did. While his Confederate distracted Nueva from the front, Willard J. Miller cowardly snuck up behind Nueva and crushed her skull with a metal baseball bat.
Noema's sister-in-law, Deanne Graber's statement was then read by the victim witness coordinator, Sarah Harms.
Yeah, the sister
Deanne's
couldn't
statement
speak.
touched on who Noema was and how she was taken from the world far too soon.
I loved her rock-solid faith and so admired the strength and peace it provided for her in the difficulties of life. She was a mighty prayer warrior and, well, as always, looking on the bright side of every situation. She made everyone feel like you were part of her family, and she had an encouraging, positive word no matter what was going on. I'm sure she was the same incredible pillar of light in all areas of life, be it family, church, work, or community. The loss we have all suffered has been a major significance because of this horrific, evil crime that stepped out and cherished daughter of the Most High God. I pray her soul fled straight to heaven the very moment her precious head was struck. I have never personally known anyone to be murdered in my 60 years of life, and I will never be able to understand or wrap my head around murder being a legitimate option for bad grades, or how you could ever talk a peer into doing something so heinous to your
Right.
teacher.
Finally, Noema's
To your
son,
teacher.
Christian Graber, delivered his victim impact statement. He spoke directly to Willard Miller.
I want to talk to you directly, Steve. I've got an opening in my heart for you. And I've met your mother on several occasions. I've been in few conversations. She seems like a decent woman. And all of which treat her with kindness and respect. And I met your grandmother yesterday before the funeral of my father. And we had decent conversations. And I feel sorry for you. And I feel sorry for your mother, your grandmother, and all your family. They seem like decent people. And I still think there's a potential for you to be a decent person as well.
That's sad. I think that's horrible. Oh, you stupid
On June 17th,
ad.
2019, my mom was rushed to the hospital to have a log of poop surgically
Ew.
removed from her colon.
Log of poop taken out of a
In
colon.
the end, Judge Showers gave Willard Miller a life sentence with the possibility of parole after serving 35 years.
So,
Joining me to discuss this
so
incredibly
Jeremy
disturbing
got-
case is Chauncey Moulding. He is one of the prosecutors who is working to put these teens in prison for life for the murder of Noema Graber. Thanks so much for joining us, Chauncey. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Your thoughts on the sentence? I know you all were asking, I think, for 30 years parole eligibility. The judge gave 35. Your thoughts on the sentence?
Consideration for the defendant taking a last-minute plea and saving us from having to uproot the case and take all of our witnesses out to the other side of the state
So they
to
took,
prosecute the
they took
matter.
a plea.
I had not resisted the defendant's motion to change venue in this case. This is a smaller community, about 18,000 residents in the
All of a sudden wanted to make a deal, as they say,
Sad.
because, I guess he could have blamed the co-defendant. I know you're not representing him, you were prosecuting him, but, a last-minute plea is always a possibility. That was obviously something you were open to, but was there any indication from the defense team as to why they were willing to plead?
I can't really speak for the defense team's motives, but one of the themes that I noted throughout the entirety of this case from the Miller team is an absolute urgency on trying to keep the grisly details of this case from public circuit. And you can even see that in the sentencing hearing. They're making objections to the display of evidence of the actual crimes of the body, of the autopsy, of the reality of the crime that was committed. A 2-week trial and would have certainly driven home the severity and the grisly details of this case with more authority. So one of the considerations I imagine was trying to kind of, Mr. Miller will have a life if he gets out after 35 years and having all of the full details available of what might have happened to his future. So I think that could have been one of the considerations. Also, state's evidence was damning. So any considerations that you get as far as
He
sentencing
shouldn't
goes,
get no possibly parole.
Juveniles
also
That's what
prosecuted
happens.
multiple times for a number of crimes.
They let these people out after doing so many years, and they're now bad. They don't change. Some of them do not change. So, you know, you just, it's sad. It's so sad, you guys. Like, to be murdered over a bad grade, I still just cannot wrap my head around it. I want to say I had another case, but it's sad that they took the life of this teacher. Now we didn't finish watching it, but I did want to tell you guys, the husband didn't make it. Now the husband was very, very ill. The prosecutor does say that. He does say that we don't know exactly what he died of, but they did say that her husband was very, very ill, and he passed away 5 days before this guy's sentencing. So, it's so sad, but let me stroll up here real quick. I hate those words. Yes, they're not supposed to be used anymore. There's many that don't care, unfortunately. Yeah, Maria, it's sad because that word isn't used very much. Do you guys hear that word a lot? I mean, out here in the world, I don't see professionals using that word. Like my sister-in-law, she works for the Ottawa County Board of MRDD, and she works for the mentally challenged, basically what I'm saying, and they don't use that word anymore. That's why they changed it to mentally disabled. Sounds better. It's just, yeah. I don't even know if that word's in the dictionary anymore. Probably, but not in the, it's just not nice to use that word, Disclaimer, copyright. Thank you, fair use and purpose such as criticism, comment. Thank you so much, honey. I probably should state that. I need to get that in, can I copy that? But I can pin it. That's cool. Okay. Trigger warning. Thank you so much for being here. It's special needs in the UK. Special needs in the UK. Okay. Yeah, I probably should say that every video that I do. Thank God I'm not monetized yet, so they're not really coming after me. But I do usually try to give them a shout out. I usually try to tag them in there. Fair use, purpose, comment. Yes, and we're actually learning something, I am teaching you guys about a case, and let's see. So Jeremy's the one that got 25 years, and Miller Ward got 35. Which means
Individuals are prosecuted
he
multiple
ain't getting
times
out.
for a number of crimes. Many times we can't have a camera in there, so the public doesn't really get to see a
Those
lot of juveniles
parole
being
board-
prosecuted. But it happens.
Those
Juveniles
parole
are
board
prosecuted
things
for
are hard
homicides,
to come
sometimes
against.
as adults,
Some of them
sometimes
don't
not.
get released, and
He
some of
prosecuted
them
a lot of
do.
juveniles for juvenile offenders for homicide.
Not for first-degree murder. And it needs to be underlined and restated. These two individuals were adults in all aspects of the law except for sentencing.
Oh, that's it.
There was a contentious hearing trying to get them waived out of juvenile court. And under Iowa law, any forcible felony committed over age 16 or first-degree murder being a forcible felony. For all aspects of the law, these two individuals were adults. But this type of crime doesn't happen very often here.
The details are horrifying. I mean, a bad grade in a Spanish class, I think every kid can relate to, or every parent who's had a kid or had children can relate to their child not wanting to get a bad grade. But this is taking it beyond the extreme.
Way too far.
The details are gruesome. They are horrifying. What impact has this case had on the community there? Because you said it's a small community. A lot of people probably knew Noema or had her as a teacher at one point in time. I just can't even imagine it, just the brutality of this crime.
Obviously, it's devastated 3 families, and every parent and teachers in the school carrying this weight on their shoulders since November 2nd of 21, after police looked at it. So at this point, this is impact on the community. It'll probably never be the same, but hopefully with this sentencing, we'll be able to start moving past it and move on.
Willard Miller made a statement apologizing at the sentencing hearing. your thoughts on what he had to say, and did you believe he was genuine?
I can't speak for, what was going on in his mind. I did put down one word when he was allocuting, and that was he apologized for his carelessness, and that's not what happened here. They
That's
saw
not what happened.
weeks they planned. He planned, and prepared, and committed this grievous act, and carelessness it was a careful thing that they did. I think it would have benefited Mr. Miller and everybody else involved for him to show a little bit more compassion and emotion in that statement. But the statement is what it is.
Noema Graber's family was, I assume, on board with the plea deal because this spared them having to go through a trial.
It's sad. Listen, you guys.
Communication, close contact with the family. One of the just very unfortunate aspects of the timing on this. Noema's her husband expired. He passed 5 days before sentencing. He was medically very unwell. He very much wanted to be there, but was not able to make sentencing. I don't know how easy it would have been for him to get to his 5-hour drive to where the trial was going to be. Sparing the family, all of that was certainly a part of our consideration, and they
It was a 5-hour drive, you guys.
Jeremy Steele is scheduled to be sentenced in August. I know you said you don't want to talk about that because the case is technically still pending, but he has pleaded guilty. I've seen that his defense team is trying to delay that hearing. Any word on why that is?
It's my understanding they have an expert witness they have scheduled to testify who is unavailable on the date. We had resisted moving it based primarily on the health of Mr. Graber. As that is not an issue anymore, I suspect the judge is going to grant continuance to some future date to allow for the defense to put on whatever witness they want. But in general, the state does resist. We just want to get this thing closed out. But I understand psychological expert witnesses are in high demand, and so I suspect the judge will grant the continuance. But we'll
25 years to life is your, or I guess the life sentence with parole eligibility after 25 years is what your recommendation is, or at least parole eligibility after 25 years is. I know he was cooperating, he was likely going to testify against Willard Miller. Still though, I mean, this is a heinous crime, and it was on social media, it was documented what they did. I mean, they bragged about this. So 25-year parole eligibility, you would obviously believe that's fair given his cooperation.
His cooperation was a factor. There were a number of factors that went into the state's consideration of the video receiving a lower recommendation from the state than Mr. Miller. At the end of the day, Mr. Miller was a student of Mrs. Graber. He was the one failing the class. He was the one that recruited Mr. Goodale. He was the one that brought the weapons, and the state's evidence is that Mr. Miller was the one that struck first. But for Jaden Miller, Mrs. Graber would still be alive. I don't think he can say that about Jeremy Goodale.
Well, Chauncey Molding, a Jefferson County attorney, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. It's a horrible case, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you, Lady Claire.
That's it for this edition of Long
there
Time
you guys.
Sidebar Podcast. You can listen to it, download Sidebar on Apple, Spotify, Google, and wherever else you get your podcasts. And of course, you can always watch it on
Jeremy
All in Crimes YouTube
Goodale
channel.
is getting the lesser case, or is going to go, his case isn't done yet. He had an expert witness coming, so they had postponed it. So the other guy got 35 years, possible parole. Now, when they go up for parole board, it's not as easy. There's a YouTuber that does it. He goes over. If I could find him. He's always going over parole board hearings, which is really good. Some of them are very interesting. I don't think too many get paroled. Let me see. I don't see it, but it's just unbelievable. Like, how could you kill over a bad grade? I just don't understand. What else do I have for you guys? Let's see here. Let me just make sure that I didn't, did I send myself anything? Let me see here. Hold on. I usually send myself. Thank you, Miss Maria, for sending me that. I'm going to put that in my description I love her as a judge. Hold on. Okay, do you guys remember the judge that did, you guys remember the judge that did the Darrell Brooks case? Darrell Brooks is the guy that did the parade. This is the hit and run case. I love her. Her name is Jennifer. She is an awesome judge.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Jesse R. Kershevsky, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged.
Haha, you're guilty, lady.
Signed by the foreperson.
She was so patient. Yes, she was. She was so patient with Dara Brooks.
2023. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jesse R. Krzyzewski, guilty of theft of movable property as charged in count 2 of the information. Signed and dated by
She killed somebody, but I can't remember.
This 14th day of November 2023.
I
As to the
dropped
special
killer.
verdict questions.
Oh
If you find the
yeah.
defendant guilty, answer the following question. Was the property stolen more than $100,000?
She put Visine in somebody and murdered
Was
them.
the property stolen more than $10,000? Answer, yes. No other amounts were answered. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jesse R. Krzyzewski, guilty of theft of movable property as charged in count 3 of the information.
She murdered somebody. I cannot believe this.
With
With Visine drops, you guys. She put the Visine drops.
Stolen more than $100,000? Answer, no. Was the
But this lady is very patient. This judge is very good. I love Jennifer as a judge. She did the Darryl Brooks, and he gave her such a hard time. Like, he just didn't want to. Like, he just didn't want to represent himself very well. He should have got a judge, but this lady killed, I do believe, another lady.
I have confirmed there are 3 signed and 3.
Jennifer Dorwell is her name, but
As to the special verdict
she's
questions,
an amazing judge.
if you find the defendant guilty, answer the following question.
She
Was
put
the
eye
property
drops.
stolen more than $100,000? Answer, no. Was the property stolen more than $10,000? Answer, yes. No other amounts were answered.
She
We, the
put
jury,
eye drops.
find the defendant, Jesse R. Krzyzewski,
She was a
guilty
caregiver for
of
somebody, I
theft
do
of movable
believe.
property as charged in count 3 of the information. Signed by the foreperson, dated today's date.
Convincing her
The 14th
first-degree
day of
murder
November
theft as the jury
2023.
reached Kinsick's sentence
Was the
date is
property
December
stolen more than
7th.
$100,000?
The rest of her life
Answer,
in
no.
prison.
Was the
Read
property
more on
stolen
this
more than
case.
$10,000? Answer, yes. No other special verdicts. Questions answered.
I
Is
can't
there any
believe she.
requests
Can you
regarding
believe
pulling the jury
Visine
from
can
the scene?
kill you? If
Thank
you put
from the defense.
Visine in your drink,
Then I know we have our alternate,
You're
so these
dead.
will not apply to you. I
you're
will
dead.
go through
So
just
how
by
in the
number,
fuck
and I will ask.
can you put Visine in your eyes, but if you inhale it or drink it, you're dead? That makes no sense to me. Math ain't mathing in my head for this. So you can put the Visine in your eyes, and it makes you be able to see. I don't understand it. Like, I don't use Visine because I'm a type of girl that really can't be playing with my eyes. Like, I could never put contacts in. Never. That just seems crazy. I know. I can't wrap my head around it, Maria.
Each juror in turn, when you hear your number, just to stand, I
I
will ask
dropped
you
murder
the
trial
verdicts
is what
that
it's
were read in
called,
court.
but
Were they and
I
are
can't
they your
remember
true verdicts, starting with juror number
if she was a
4.
caregiver and she
The verdicts
murdered
read in court,
the lady.
were they and are they your true verdicts? Yes, they are. Thank you. Juror number 5. Were these and are these your true verdicts?
Yes.
Thank you. Juror number 8. Were these and are these your true verdicts?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep, I'm pretty sure she murdered the lady she was taking care of. Oh yes, here we go. 39-year. Why in the hell does everything happen in Wisconsin? Now, we've done several things, and everything's coming from Wisconsin. There was like a daycare, I think. There was the Darryl Brooks. There was another thing that happened in Wisconsin. So this happened in Wisconsin. She's a 39-year-old woman who is accused of murdering her wealthy friend with eye drops. To trial this week in Waukesha County. That's why Jennifer Duro's doing her court case, because Jennifer Duro is one of the biggest judges up there. Disable my blocker. Go back to it, please. Oh, we're at a halt, you guys. This ad blocker thing. Okay, what do I do here? Back to the main. Okay, so, Wisconsin, she's 39 years old. She gave different versions to the police, it says. The lady, Lynn Herdman, 62, was found at home with a large amount of crushed medication on her chest and a plate directly to the left of her with a large amount of what appeared to be crushed up medication still on the plate. The criminal complaint reads, 4 months. The official explanation of the woman's death tendered towards overdose until 2019. Then the Polweek Police Department learned that Herman died from a fatal dose of trazodone. This is a main ingredient in eye drops. Subsequent homicide investigation resulted in Krosek being arrested June 4th of 2021. She is charged with 1 count of each of intentional homicide in the first degree, left movability. Let's see here. Intentional homicide in the first degree, movable property greater than 100,000, and a theft of movable property of 10,000 but less than 100,000. Toxicology results that the family and friends' death were quickly made known to the defendant. In response to those findings, Kensworth had explanation, police say, telling investigators that Herman was known for eye drops and that she purchased them in great volume, and there would be bottles and boxes from eye drops all over the residence, according to the criminal complaint. But then what about the crushed up pills conveniently located on the dead woman near recycling deathbed? The defendant allegedly had a story to support that wrinkle as well, accounting for Herman's actual cause of death. Kozik offered that the victim must have staged her own suicide with crushed up pills because Cusack maintained that she did not. She did not. The complaint reads, Krunzik then says Herman had been trying to kill herself by drinking Visine and vodka. Yuck. I just can't believe. Obviously, it doesn't taste then. Those ice drops. Ice drop. Yeah, so I wonder how of a taste it has, because the lady was putting it. This bitch was putting in the 71-year-old. No, I misspoke. 62 was found at home. She was 62 years old and her name was Lynn. Lynn. Herman, rest in peace. Oh, that's so sad. 62 years old. And this lady framed it as that she was trying to commit suicide. Now, if you drink Visine, it makes you really sick, apparently, here. victim would try different doses in water bottles or vodka, and she would get very sick. At some point, however, the defendant's story allegedly changed. This time, Kresnik allegedly admitted her friend's death was something more like Bergering case of assisted suicide. Fought about it for an hour prior to Kresnik leaving the residence that morning, and she finally gave in and gave the water bottle with 6 Visine bottles in it to the victim. She gave 6. Oh my god, you guys, she put 6 bottles of Visine. Well, all because her friend that she was taking care of had money. All because of money. What people don't realize, money don't make you happy. Money does not make you happy. Money as the world go round. Money is just it's just horrible that you could put Visine in your eyes, but you can't drink it. Well, that's that good. Well, I'm glad I don't use Visine, so make sure you guys trust your friends. Don't let your friends don't let wow. I bet that shit didn't taste good. That's probably why she put it in her vodka. Now, I did see something. Did you guys see? Let me see if I can find it. But Jennifer Duro, I can't pronounce her name now. I love her as a judge. She is a good judge. She was so patient with, you know, with Daryl Brooks. Like, she could have ended the trial. Like, she could have, you know, she stuck it through, though. She did.
Regarding pulling the jury from the scene. Thank you, from the defense. Yes. All right, then I know we have our alternates, so these will not apply to you. I will go through just by number, and I will ask each juror in turn, when you hear your number, just to stand. I will ask you the verdicts that were read in court. Were they and are they your true verdicts?
They're not going to show the jury, are they?
The verdicts read in court, were they and are they your true verdicts? Yes. Thank you. Juror number 5.
She's something else, that lady.
Are these your true verdicts? Yes.
Alright, there is something else I wanted to go over. I seen on YouTube. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. But I have seen a couple YouTubers talking about it. The dead in a ditch murder trial. Is this the one where he killed his son and put him in the ditch and made it look like the truck backed over him? Is that this case that's happening right now? So I did see a couple YouTubers trying to get the family's story out.
There I first earned a Master of Public Health degree, and then I attended their medical school. I graduated from medical school in 2013. Then I attended an anatomic and clinical pathology residency program that was located in New Jersey.
Anybody
and then
know?
I did a forensic pathology fellowship program at the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner of
Ivan
Maryland,
Sam
located in
Bramer
Baltimore.
is 62 years old and accused of murdering his former girlfriend, Len Cohen, 60, and leaving her to die in a frozen ditch. Bramer was originally charged with abuse of a corpse
No,
in
you're
the
on
second
14 days
degree
receiving.
theft in May for the February 2023 crime.
Doctor, I heard you
But
said you
after
received a
further
fellowship in
investigation in
forensic pathology.
Iowa,
Yes.
Can
it's
you
happened in Iowa,
explain to the jury what is forensic pathology?
investigations arrested
So
him
forensic pathology
for a
is a
second degree
subset of
murder in
pathology.
August.
Pathology is a
Investigations
branch of
believe
medicine that
Bramer
predominantly
and
looks at
Gown had
disease
a toxic
processes that
alcohol
impact the
infused
human body.
relationship.
Forensic pathology takes that a step further. There we look at disease processes and also
Forensic
injuries, and not only how they
pathologist
affect the
said
human body, but how they can
was
cause someone to die.
Gowan was strangled to death and then left in a frozen ditch. That is horrible. What? Oh my god. This is the guy. Well, I thought it was the wrong case. And that's the girlfriend up there in the corner. This is the man that killed her. I thought it was, there's a couple of them going around. The dad hasn't been charged yet, but I know the family is reaching out to a lot of people, trying to get their story out. I guess the dad was abusive. The little girl came out and said that his sister. I guess the brother was murdered, and the cops are saying it was accidental, but really deep down inside, the family, the ex-wife, knows that no, that's not the case. I don't know exactly what case that. Oh, I remember the story, but I don't remember everything. So I'm trying to. Does anybody remember that? I know Chronicles of Olivia did it. She did a stream on it. I want to say the mother spoke about it somewhere. So does anybody know what that case was? Maria, do you know what I'm talking about? I think Dolly might have talked about it too. I know Chronicles Olivia did. She mentioned it. I can't remember. I wish I had the name of it. I can't remember the freaking name. Very vague. Very vague. I know the mom swears up and down, and the daughter knows. Let me type it in here once. Let me see. I'm looking real quick, guys. Alright, let's see here. I'm on her thing. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Follow the story, son's grave. Your mother's cry for help. Let me see if this is it. This might not be it. Stupid ads. So sick of ads.
Grant didn't have a single scratch on his body, just
Yes.
one force trauma to the back of
This
his
is
head.
it.
When Grant turned 18, he told multiple friends that he was going to testify in court to get full custody of his sister.
I am Grant Solomon's girlfriend. Leading up to his 18th birthday, he had told me that he wanted to expose his dad and what he had done to his sister, what he had done to Grant and his mom. And I think it's very suspicious how Grant was pronounced dead a couple weeks later and how his father was the only witness.
And that day was the first time he was alone with his father.
Found it, you
in 2
guys.
years.
So the groundskeeper was out there, and he's my friend. And so I said, what happened out here? And he said, Mr. Solomon came and told me he wanted everything cleared. And he said, so I did. I cleared it all off, and it's in a box up there at the memorial home.
Grant's beloved dog, Babby, became severely depressed after his death. A once happy 5-year-old dog grieved himself into an inoperable tumor, and 3 months later, died of a broken heart.
Ours was the only one that was completely cleared. Days after that, the owner said, Aaron wanted it cleared, and those dead flowers were laid.
After Grant's father removed his memorial, he bought graves for Angie and Gracie.
We were in the counselor's office on September the 26th, telling him we would never be a family, would never go back, and we would never. And on October the 6th, just the next week, he had gone in and set up.
I
the
love my
papers
dog to
with
death.
plots,
God, I'm such
and
an
he had
animal
put
lover.
my name on plot 3, and Gracie's on plot 1.
Angie and Gracie were terrified.
And his on plot 4.
He's underneath the vehicle.
Okay, what color is it?
What color is the white truck? This is the one I was talking about, guys, though.
To see your name on a grave plot, not expecting it.
That's my son. He's somehow backed up. Yeah.
It is the first time in my life I actually thought about dying. Why did God do this? I don't want to question him.
We're on an incline, and I guess he didn't have it in park or something.
He hated God since he was so foster family, but I know he doesn't know. It's far gone from that box, but still bothered.
Yeah, somehow it drug him down.
Trigger warning, guys. I'm sorry, trigger warning. Whew.
But Angie has the proof. She shows me where the black box was in Grant's car. A black box gathers driving information about a vehicle.
That black box actually shows that someone was in the driver's seat, that there was weight in the driver's seat in the last 3 seconds of the truck's drive, and that the accelerator pedal was pushed in and the steering wheel was being operated and turned sharply to the right, which matches the tire pattern. Then it was placed in park and turned off, and the weight got out of the vehicle. Grant couldn't have been the one in the last 3 seconds to get out because he was over there. So the black box told us everything. So we have all of the evidence. We just don't have an open investigation.
Just like how Grant's dog Babby was protective, Grant always tried to protect his mother and sister until the very end.
Okay, so let me see if I
Hannah
can
shows
find.
me her Bible.
They don't
where Grant
have,
would leave notes and letters for her.
they can't get a case opened.
This is just an example of one of the notes that usually would add, I love you, times infinity. And so I have that. I got that tattooed behind my ear. So he's with me. All the things that just such a gift that I know that whatever happened right before that, he was so happy because of her. Full that he was able to with Hannah.
How could a dad do this to your son? Like, how do you kill your kids?
It just was God, and it was just such a heartbreak to me for her.
when I had to tell her.
I hate getting emotional over these cases, but it's just like, how do you not? How do you not show your emotions when you're in so, you know?
Of just the amazing human he was.
But it's sad that the cops won't reopen this. Why can't they reopen this case?
A picture of Grant and Hannah. Whoever paid for everything gifted Aaron Grant's plot. In Aaron's mind, he owns it. In the state of Tennessee, by law, if a child is buried, both parents own half. So by
There
law,
you
in the
go.
state of Tennessee, that doesn't hold. But in his mind, he believes that he owns Grant and this spot, and he can do with it what he wanted. And he wanted it cleared. Okay.
Even though her daughter Gracie was raped by her ex-husband, the courts ripped Gracie away from her own mother and brought her back with her abusive father.
My dad only got one night when I asked for two. We stopped at a hotel room in Asheville. It made me really nervous before we even got in the hotel room. When we went to bed, I remember him slowly getting closer to me until I was on the edge of the bed. I kept waking up by feeling his feet rub against mine. I kept waking up and
That's so
then finally
gross.
realized that I felt something hard on my lower back close to my butt. At court,
Uh-oh.
Dad's attorney got inches away from my face and tried to manipulate me into thinking what my dad did to me didn't really happen by saying, "Do you really think your dad would do something like that? Do you actually remember that happening?" He was so close to me that I could smell his cigarette breath, and his
Ew.
tone really scared me.
The judge didn't care and ripped her away from her mother.
And said, "You're never going to see your kids again. I'm still fighting today." And I really thought Grant and I would get the kids out. But I didn't.
Gracie will come to me, whether you like it or not.
I hate my dad. I am absolutely terrified of him from everything he has done to me, my brother, and my mom. I strongly believe Dad killed Grant, and now he is going to kill me.
Please click the link in my bio to sign this petition to
Oh,
open
shit.
an investigation into the mysterious death of Grant Solomon. The
I
link in my
did-
bio also includes the GoFundMe to help Grant's mom exhume his
I
body so he
did
can have a proper...
hit that button for it. But yes, I knew Chronicles Olivia had did it, and I just knew she did cover it really well. I know there's a lot of speculations about her, but she's a beautiful girl. Chronicles Olivia, she is really beautiful. But I just can't believe this dad, and the case isn't open. Like, why can't they get it reopened? And it's like, is this gonna have music towards it? I hope not.
A grieving mother stands at the spot where her son died mysteriously
This is
in
where-
2020. 18-year-old Grant
Look
Solomon.
how beautiful the couple look.
I'm Grant Solomon's mom. My name is Angie, and we are here at a tough spot, but it's where my son's body was found, right here in this ditch.
Angie's ex-husband spent millions of dollars covering up the death of their son and covering up years of abuse towards their daughter.
That is super
Aw.
manipulative. I remember taking a bath as a young kid and him washing me with a Dove bar of soap completely up and inside of my private. Right here.
That's horrible. And the mom tried.
I know now it was probably his hand, but I was too young to know any better. His head was here, not here. He was 6'4", and he weighed 210 pounds. He was a big
Oh my
guy.
God, you guys.
Later, I still believe that my dad killed my brother.
This is just bonkers. You know that.
Hi, I'm Flo with Oriental.
They can't get that case opened. I think they have it as an accidental death, but that's horrible. Horrible. That they can't get that case back open. But that's the case I was talking about. I've seen other people talking about it. Maybe I can deep dive in it too. But that was just one of my ones that I was thinking about. I had seen somebody else talking about it. I can't remember who. Wasn't Chronicles, because hers was old. That was an old video. But just to think of, you know, my car a lot of cars have that weight system. So when you get in, it, like my passenger seat, if I have a lot of stuff in it, there's a weight in it. Like say if I have my purse, my lunch bag, I got a bunch of shit and I put it in the front seat. It's gonna weigh that, and it weighs the weight, and then it'll ding for the seatbelt. So if they have that piece of evidence, that should reopen the case. So that's all that I really have. I had that, the teens. I just think that it's crazy. Then like you get on YouTube and there's just so much drama. So that's why I was like, well, I'm gonna make sure I go live today and do this. I think I have something out set up for tomorrow. Let me check my email. I know it was a case that I wanted to go over. I hope I still have it. I think it was for here. Just remember that, every big problem we have in the world, we gotta remember somebody else is having a more shittier, I try to think of like some of the positive and stuff. Oh, I got an email from her. I need to. Oh, I wanted to show you guys. I paid that. Should be paid. Okay. There's a couple auction sites I wanted to show you guys about. But I have another case. I was trying to find it. It's not in where I thought it would be. Let me see here. Let me check one more thing. That was my Gmail. Let me check my Yahoo. I think it might be in there. I hope everybody had a good show. I hope everybody liked it. I hope everybody enjoyed today. I had fun. I'm glad I came back. There's just been so much that, it sucks because sometimes people just are so mean that, I just can't get it, like, I just, you get on YouTube to have a good day, to have fun, find somebody you watch, and then when you get on there, all you have is just incredible, like, mean people, and I don't like that. We're all supposed to be kind and nice to one another. I don't see it in here. I have so much of my Yahoo. I need to unsubscribe from this WTO fucking thing here. Where'd that button go? Unsubscribe. This thing fills up my, I don't know if you guys know what this thing here, man, it just blows up my email with this shit. Mother trucker. Thank you. Jesus. I'm unsubscribing from that thing. That thing is too much for me. Man. But yeah, so I was really hesitant about coming back. I was kind of scared coming back my first day back in a while. It's just, sometimes I just need a break because all the, all the stuff bad on YouTube is just, it's not something I was gonna expect when I got into YouTube. I thought, people are, nice and welcoming and wanting to build each other up, not be mean to each other, and all you got is people being mean. So, it's been real hectic. It has been really hectic. And I can't believe it. It's like, but I do want to show you guys this auction site. Okay, so this is one of them that I love going to. This is the website. This is the site. This is on auction. She's my favorite, Kim. I love these guys. I love these girls. Kind of loud, huh? I love their intro. There's my girls. That's Amber. She's another good one. She sells a lot of purses, Coach purses.
Guys, just an update. My finger is still numb on that tip. I mean, not numb, but it feels like there's
Brooches. They sell a lot of brooches.
gloves on it.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. They might be in my jewelry box. There was one brooch I got for free, but these are the girls. The website is called It's About to Anything and Everything Auction. This happened last night, which I missed this one. Kim's up here in the corner. She's got snakes. She's cool. Kimberly. That's Drita.
What TV on? No, TV's in Florida. Yeah.
So that's one of the girls I watch.
Now when I see something, even though I know some.
They have a lot of nice stuff on here, especially the Cool Ranch. She has a lot of fancy stuff, you guys. A lot of Ray Dunn products. And I tell you what, it's so peaceful over there. There's no fighting. They help you bid. They're very nice. They have bidding and they have lots. That's a Ray Dunn right there. Look at that nice Ray Dunn bowl.
This was a purple one that looked black in the picture. I haven't got a good look at it yet because I didn't really.
Ray Dunn product. That's so crazy. Ray Dunn products are very good. Thank you, Miss Maria. But you guys, check them out. All their stuff is legit. Everything that comes from them, they, you pay for shipping or whatnot. But I love them. And then there's another one. So.
Did you use special gloves for like color guard and band
And then there's another one.
Color guard and band.
Let's see if it's on here.
I did one twice. That was my 3. I did one twice.
They usually take turns. Each girl does like 3 or 4 items, and then sometimes they have minutes where they go for 15 minutes of showing their items, and then they'll drop down, and then another one will come up, show all their items. Anything that you do get, I always suggest to wash. But the purses I've all gotten, I've washed them, and they've came out perfect. There was another one, but I don't see
Okay, so if you've seen them, I'm just gonna zip everything.
her picture.
I think I gotta put this on the top or whatever. So you got that in the first one, and it doesn't look like it was ever used. I mean,
I don't see it.
funny. You got
I know
outside
I need
pocket
to
on
take
this one.
I need to take a bath.
Cards,
I need to do some Epsom
license
salt,
there,
guys.
underneath.
Oh, right here she is. Now this one is called Colleen OG. I want to say oh, that was in 5 days. So a lot of them So this is another one. I've watched her a couple times. In my Gmail though, let me see if I can find her in my Gmail. Those auction sites you guys can find. If I can, I'll save the links and I'll try to add them. But check out those girls. They always have nice stuff. It's never, I've never gotten anything bad from them. A lot of the girls will sell jewelry. A lot of them have jewelry. A lot of them have brooches. And they're like very nice brooches. I don't know where I have that one at, but a couple of them are my jewelry boxes. I have an owl one that I got. Very nice ladies over there. Check them out. Cool Ranch Dorito, I do believe is her. Let me see if I can find her. I thought it had her email on these, but it don't. It just shows her. And then there's that one, Disco Babes and Designs. She's another good one. She does pens. Where you can have your pen specially made, just like this one here. Let's see, because it was on my community tab. So let me see if I still have her on there. I'm about to end here just because we've already been on here 2 hours. I can't believe it. Oh, and the good thing is, you guys have to tell you this before we close up shop here in a minute. I am so happy. I'm at 225, guys. We got to get up there just a little bit more. But we are at 225. I cannot believe it. I'm so excited. 225 is pretty darn good. I'm really happy with 225. Let me, because it's been a while. So I don't know how long it is. It's been a while, so just go. I'll have to look for her thing. I know it's somewhere on my community tab. I posted her email, or I think she hit email, wrote me on there. But she makes the pens, and each pen she does send an extra ink for it. Each one. I was just looking to see. Andy stuff. I don't know where it's at. Anywho. Oh well. Oh well. I can't find it. It was on here. I'll have to look for it. I'm gonna go make me a nice Epsom salt bath. But I'm so excited. We're at 2:25. Oh, look at this little girl. Oops. She's bathing in her bathtub. That's Tangerine. That's Tangerine, y'all. She loves her bath and soaking. But I'm so thankful for everybody who showed up. Thank you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe. Show me some love. You are here at the Truthseeker. Again, we do a lot of fun true crime stuff. We go and do the articles. Not all true crime stuff is good, so we do the big and the bad. I didn't see this. You guys, hold on.
Enjoy our free, fresh, hot breakfast any way you like.
This was 20 hours
So
ago.
at this time, Mr. Goodale, you have the right of allocution. Do you wish to make a statement before I sentence you?
Your Honor, before you begin, I want to request permission to reorder this chair so we can face
Go ahead. Tell you what, just so Laura can hear him, so I don't know if we need to put a mic on him. Yeah.
I haven't seen this, you guys. You fucker ain't gonna work. Hold on now.
I want to say I'm grateful for this chance to speak my piece. I offer my sincerest apologies to the Graber family, but I know my words will never be enough. I've had time to think on what to say, and I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. What I've taken can never be replaced. Every day I wish I could go back and stop myself, prevent this loss and this pain that I've caused everyone. Everyone in the community and outside of it. Those closest to me and those closest to the Graber family as well as the Graber family. I didn't know how taking Miss Graber's life would affect you. I can't comprehend losing a loved one in such an awful way. I'm sorry I didn't stop this from happening in the first place.
Oh my god.
I'm understanding now that Miss Graber meant so much to so many people. She was a support to the community and those close to her. And she was a caregiver to her family, to her children, and to her husband.
I don't know if I can believe this guy.
I'm so sorry. To Mrs. Graber's friends and the members of her church, I'm truly sorry for what I've taken from you. I never stopped to consider the community. To everyone at Fairfield High School who felt unsafe, those who were scared, those who lost hope, I'm sorry for what I've done. I'm sorry how my actions have affected you. I want an apology to all my friends. I'm sorry for the stigma placed on you just for having known me. Zach, Habib, Zoe, and John. I didn't care. I didn't even know what this had done to you. And I'm sorry. And Dad, I'm sorry that I let you down in so many ways. Jackie and Sophia, you've given so much to me. I'm supposed to be helping you and Dominic right now, Jackie, but I can't. Instead, I've caused so much stress, and so much loss, and so much grief. And to all of my siblings, I took your little brother. Dad, I took your son from you. 2 years ago, I made the worst decision of my life. I take full responsibility for what I did. And today, as a young man, I can begin to pay for that. I can never give back what I've taken. But I hope this situation doesn't end as tragically as it began, and that someday something positive can come from this tragedy. I know that my words will never be enough, but to Miss Graber and all their family, I'm truly sorry.
Does the state want to be heard on sentence? Yes, Your Honor.
This is why I have to smoke, because I can't do this. And I need more coffee. I need a coffee warmer. I need an electric coffee warmer. That I can plug it in and set my coffee cup on it, and it keeps it warm.
Important to keep in mind how we got here today. As Jeremy detailed in his Snapchat messages, the last thing she ever saw was Jeremy's face. She was walking in the park on November 2nd, 2021.
You must have a nosebleed.
Jeremy was wearing a mask, shot with blonde hair coming down, walking towards her. She got frightened. She got scared. And he took down his mask to reassure her, and he smiled. She smiled back, and he was looking at her in the eyes when Jaden Miller walked up behind her, wearing yellow gloves and a baseball bat, and took her life.
Oh my
Jeremy was the last
god.
face that she saw. He then aided Jaden in dragging her into the woods and hit her in the head 5 times, and your life. Jeremy acted in concert with
Wow.
in this case. And the state's recommendation is based on a lot of factors. Matter 2.1, sub 2, sub B, sub 2, sub A detail the numbers of factors that the court needs to keep in mind when considering the appropriate and effective judgment and sentence to pass down for this crime. Subsection A indicates the court needs to consider the impacts of this offense on each victim. Well, Your Honor, the victim is dead. The impact cannot be more grave. And on the people she's left behind, the impact will be heard by the court shortly. But it's fair to say that the death of Noema Graber has fundamentally changed the nature and structure of this family. Sub B indicates the court needs to consider the impact of the offense on the community. This offense, has had a substantial and lasting impact, as testified to by Lieutenant Kinsella. Subsection C indicates that the threat and safety of the public needs to be considered by this court. The defendant had no motive in this case. His motive was to assist Jaden Miller. It was Jaden's motive. Jeremy was along, in his words, quote, because he didn't want to seem like a pussy, end quote. That lack of motive could cut a couple of ways, but frankly, it increases the threat.
Oh my god, I can't believe that.
Here for a second. The defendant's got a bloody nose. Oh, sorry. No, you were fine. Let's take a break and see if we can get that taken care of.
He had a bloody nose. He had to get escorted out of the courtroom. Wow. That happened 21 hours ago. Shout out to Law and Crime. I do believe they're back. Let's see what this one shows. This one says 17 hours.
Do not have the ability to reimburse the state of Iowa for Category B restitution. And because of that, Mr. Mulder and Mr. Brown, I don't know if you have a position on this. I don't know if I can order the crime victim assistance if I make that finding. I think that qualifies as Category B restitution. Right, that's fine. Okay. So I'll just order the restitution joint separately. That's to the Jefferson County Auditor.
This is nuts though, hold on. This is just crazy. So basically,
And but I will give the state of Iowa.
I do believe the Jeremy guy got
than adults. Each juvenile
25.
and his or her acts are inherently different.
He's getting 35.
So I don't think,
Not
I am
sure.
not comparing
We know one got 35 years possible
factor.
parole.
Factor G is your acceptance of responsibility. This is another mitigating factor, Mr. Goodell. You pled guilty to first-degree murder and acknowledged your actions. Well, you certainly have the right to exercise your constitutional rights to a trial, to a jury, in a different place. Like Mr. Miller, by pleading guilty, you spared the defendant's family, witnesses, and community a traumatic trial. And while these Miller sentencings itself are emotionally draining for all involved, and I doubt either Supreme Court's spent much time thinking about that toll.
I think if any one of them ever get out, I think
the U.S.
they
Supreme
won't
Court
have a
requires
chance
them,
in the
you're
community.
entitled to it. And I certainly am required to do my job, and your attorneys have done their job very well in presenting evidence.
This is just...
Regarding the severity of the offense, which is factor H, including any of the following, the commission of the murder while participating in another felony, the number of victims, and the heinous, brutal, cruel matter of murder, including whether the murder was...
really quick, Maria, you've been here. I love you, girl. Thank you for being here and supporting me. It means a lot to me. Thank you, Gina, out there, too, as well, for coming and supporting me. And she brought a friend over named Crystal. Thank you, Crystal, for coming over. To Truthseeker. I love owls. I am a stoner. I just wanted to reach out and say thank you. I am missing one of my favorite ladies, Miss Sharon. If you're out there, I love you, girl. I hope all is well, and I miss you. And I didn't see you here today, so maybe you'll pop in and watch this once I make it public. Sharon is one of my OG girls, just like Maria here. They have been my loyal supporters, my loyal best friends that I have on here. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see Miss Papercut. I was going to make her a mod on my channel. Maybe she's sleeping. I don't know. I was hoping to see Miss Papercut. Miss Papercut Tina. I love her to death. She didn't show up. That's okay. Maybe, like I said, she has a busy day, busy life with her son and daughter and those little fun kitty cats that she gets to play with. My cat is big and grown, and he's an old man, and he don't get to play very much because when Scoop gets excited, Scoop tries to play, and so it doesn't happen like that. But I really need to go take a hot bath. I need to put some... Oh, God, yeah, I need to get some Epsom salt. I do need to go to the grocery store today. I gotta go to the meat store and get some meat for the house. And I do believe I need, laundry soap and dryer sheets. And I have like $40 left to my name till next Tuesday. Got a full tank of gas, so I went to Kroger's last night. I bought my blanket, washed it, used it last night, put it in the dryer, used the last dryer sheets I had. The blanket was so nice and comfortable. But last night I went to Kroger's and went and got my gas at Kroger's, and I got 50 cents off. And so I had a quarter of a tank, so I thought $25 would fill it up. It took less than 25 because I had that 50 cents off. And so I used it, and I got over a full tank of gas now with only, I think, 14 pumped in it, 15 pumped in it. Because I got $7.85 back after pumping 25. I was supposed to pump 25. So it took, I was excited. I was like, man, this is the first time you get gas back, because normally it takes a lot to fill up a car, but my car was already on a quarter of a tank. So that was nice. But I am going to let you guys all go ahead and go. If you guys want to watch, I do know one of them got sentenced for, just tell me. This came from, let's see, what does it say? Killer teen sobs, gets a bloody nose as he's sentenced to life for beating a Spanish teacher over a bad grade. Look at that. Wow. So Jeremy Gardwell, 18, was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole in 25 years for the row of killing Naomi Raber, 66, November 2nd of 2021. Ward Miller, 17, pled guilty earlier this year, first degree. Both just 16. Look at that kid. He looks like he's fucking psycho. Alright. Look at that. Look at his eyes. There he is sobbing. Aww. Sickening. It makes your stomach hurt sometimes. I swear to God it does. I swear in everything it makes your stomach hurt. But there you guys have it. He got his sentencing. He got a nosebleed in the middle of it. I just want to say I love you all. Thank you for being here. That really does mean, it means the world to me. So, I love you all. Have a great day. I'm going to go Epsom salt my back. My body hurts just so bad. So, also, don't forget the shocking eruption of abuse in Franklin. That's that one we were talking about. Go check that out, you guys. I kind of want to do some more on that. That's just horrible. Should have never happened. It's crazy. Love you guys. Have a great day. Be safe. Don't let anybody bring you down. Have a great day. I gotta go Epsom salt. I love you all. Thank you very much. I'm glad we got to be together on my day back. Yeah, thanks for being here while I am a hot mess.
We should do a toast.